I'll tell you one thing that I think United fans are disregarding when it comes to these transfers, right? Of course, Mateus Fernandes was publicly known. He was one of our main targets going into the summer. We wanted him in the midfield, right? He's gone to Spurs, £85 million, big fee. Sandro Tonali also joined Spurs for up to £100 million. Now these are massive fees, but you lot are not understanding the biggest problem and the main reason Ineos can't even entertain these offers. Broski, they're paying him 250k a week. Man United can't offer Mateus Fernandes, who's coming off back-to-back relegations, 250k a week. They can't do it. They're trying to bring the wage cuts down. They're trying to get the big wages out. Casemiro's gone, Sancho's gone, Antony's gone. Harry Maguire took a pay cut. Mateus Fernandes is a 21-year-old who's had 2 seasons in the Premier League. He's been relegated in both of them. Yes, he's a very good talent. I think this is a very good player. I'm not going to say that like he's not a good player. But you just gave Kobe Mainoo a new 5-year deal on 120k a week. How the hell do you justify that you're bringing in this guy who, in my opinion, isn't better than Kobe Mainoo, and you're paying him double the money? How do you explain to Mateus Cunha, who you signed last summer and gave him 180k, or Benjamin Sesko on 160, or Mbeumo on 150, or Lamins on 60k? How do you explain to these guys who you've given reasons as to why you can only offer this amount last summer, I assume, that this 21-year-old who's coming off back-to-back relegations, who hasn't got anywhere near, like Cunha had more skin in the game when he left Wolves to come to Man United than Fernandes does now. As does Mbeumo, as does Sesko. How do you explain to these guys that we're giving this 21-year-old 100k more than you? How do you explain to Kobe Mainoo, like I said, this guy is getting double your wage? How do you explain to Harry Maguire that you had to take a pay cut so that we can sign this guy and put him on 250? You can't do it. You can't do it. You've seen the culture at the club change. You've seen the harmony within the squad throughout the second half of last season. We all saw it. And you're failing to understand that one decision, like giving Fernandes that 250 that Spurs were offering, we can't do that, bro. Because if we do that, you're going to have problems. Any new contracts, they're going to say Mateus Fernandes is on 250. I want more than that. You try and sign a Tchouameni later in the window or another midfielder later in the window, they're going to say, what, you gave my man 250? I want 3. I want 300. Players' contracts are running out. They're going to want renewals. Mateus Fernandes is on 250. I want 350. Are you mad, bro? Bruno Fernandes, he needs a new contract, bro. If we're going to keep him, what's he going to ask for if you're giving Mateus 250? It doesn't work. It would ruin everything that they've tried so hard to do over the last 2 years. And whether you agree with it or you disagree with it, that's the reality. If Spurs are going to pay that money, then Spurs are going to pay that money. Well, good on them, innit? Good on them. But we need to find players that aren't looking at, like, bro, if you bring Tchouameni in and he's on 250, you can justify that. This is a Champions League World Cup winner midfielder coming from Real Madrid in the prime of his career. He can be on 250, and none of these guys in the squad will be able to say nothing to him. Mateus Fernandes, come on, bro. Imagine you're in the United dressing room and you're on 150. You've just taken a pay cut. You're Harry Maguire. You've been here 7 years. England